Everybody likes a sharp-dressed man, and that's me. Thank you, ZZ Top. Can't play your music because it is copyrighted, so we won't be doing that. However, what do you think? By the way, welcome to the Man Cave here at Wistful Vistas, beautiful suburban San Diego, California, in the north, referred to as North County. Today, a bit on the chilly side. We didn't get out of the 60-degree F today, low 60s. Rather gloomy, a lot of overcast. We've had more than our fair share of rain and overcast this year. Why the weather report? I don't know. I just feel compelled to do it, to share it with my friends around the world who think that we're lucky. When I consider bad weather, we're lucky with our bad weather. But anyway, just wanted to catch up with you a little bit. But first of all, let's ask a very serious question. Can you see this? What do you think of this magnificent Aprilia shirt? Purchased online. Let me do a slow 360 here. Tell me, does this make my rear end look big? Throw a slow 360. Genuine Aprilia shirt, genuine Aprilia hat, by the way. So I think it's a little bit over the top, personally. I'm not going to be wearing it to too many places. I thought I'd wear it around the neighborhood and things, but yeah, it's a little bit too, maybe a little too out there for people that don't know. I get questions all the time anyway. What's an Aprilia? A motorcycle? Really, is that a Ducati or a Harley? No, it's an Aprilia. What's an Aprilia? You get the message here. People just don't know. Why are we here today? We're here today to talk about my go-to riding gear, what I wear typically when I go out for a ride. We're not going to cover the helmets today because I think that's subject of a separate conversation, but we're going to talk about a few pieces of my favorite gear, and we're going to start from the bottom up. What do you think? I think that's exciting. Let's get with it. Let's start with the boots, reading glasses. These boots are by a company called IXS. They're, I'm going to put one of them down to show it to you. But IXS is not widely distributed in the US. They're a European brand, very well known out of Europe. And why do I like these boots? They give a lot of protection, and they're lightweight. They're easy to get on and off, and they're fit for my wide Yankee foot. I wear a size 11. Too bad I didn't have smaller feet and end up a little taller. But, but I wear a size 11, but my feet are rather broad, and I have discovered that size 11 is nominally size 52 in European terms. And not all 52s are created equal. In fact, some of them are a bit narrow. Now, this boot has a side opening. Get ready for some Velcro here. Side opening. It's lined with a red liner. I kind of like the color of it. Gives me a chance to show off a little bit. You got a little tab to pull it on. And the other nice thing about this particular boot is that it does have a little bit of ventilation baked into it. Also, what's nice is that this is not a particularly expensive boot. You're not talking about a $400 or $500 boot here. And a little vignette. This has a nice reinforced heel. I don't know if many of you know this, but about 3 years ago, I crashed a Harley Davidson pretty thoroughly. A rather silly story. Ask me if you want to hear about it. But what part of my body was the most injured? Well, I had some scrapes and cuts on my arms, but the part that took the longest to heal is I landed really hard on my heels, and I was wearing these softer boots, and my heel turned the most beautiful colors of black and blue, and it took about a week to heal. So I went head over heels, landed on my heel, and I like that reinforced heel on the boot. So IXS boots, my part of my go-to. The other thing, pardon me while I reach over here and grab this, is when I wear those boots. Those are tall boots. Again, I like the protection of them. I typically wear a longer sock. Now, this one is actually by our old nemesis, Harley Davidson. And while we like to make fun of them, Harley makes a very quality line of rider's clothing. These boots have a little bit of padding in them, and they're long enough. Why do I like the longer sock? I find the long boot without a sock protecting my shin where it meets the boot is very irritating, and I'll get my shin rubbed pretty rough. So sock, longer sock, I like. These Harley Davidson socks I think work quite well. All right, continuing with our theme, working from the bottom up. This happens to be one of my favorite pair of pants. Now I have mesh pants when it gets real hot in San Diego. These are not mesh, but they are very handy, very utility. They are by Icon, a well-known motorcycle brand. And the name of this particular pant is called the Variant. Icon 1000 Premium Riding Pant. Oh, I said Variant. It's Varial. And why do I like it? There are a couple, three reasons I like it. And I'm going to start with some silly small stuff. It's got these nice little built-in straps here so you can hang it easily from a hanger in your closet. Small thing, but it's very handy. The other reason that I like it is it has the so-called cargo pockets. These cargo pockets are zip closable, and you know, on a Tuono you don't have a whole lot of room to store stuff, carry stuff around, so I have found those cargo pockets really handy to drop my wallet in and or ownership papers and in certain instances keys. There's also a zip up back pocket built into it. Although, again, I prefer my wallet in that one of those two cargo pockets. And there are also standard slit cut pockets on this jean. Now, it does not have hip armor, but it comes with knee armor. So if you're concerned about the hip armor, you might have to wear get a separate girdle or something that will give you the hip armor. But really a useful pant. Not all that hot either. Even though it's not mesh, it's not all that hot. Then the other piece I particularly like is on the back of the leg. There's a little stretchy panel. Gosh, I hope that comes out. And what that does, that allows you to put this over the outside of your boot, and then it stays nice and snug around the circumference of your boot. That works out well. Why is that? Have you ever put your leg down with, let's say, some loose pants on, caught your pant leg on a peg or a bar, putting it down, and been momentarily suspended thinking, I'm going over, I can't get my foot loose? Has happened. So I like the fact that that stays anchored around your boot and doesn't flop around. The Icon Varial pant, very good as a go-to pant. And as I say, even though it's not mesh, it's not overly warm, works out pretty well in California. Had that for about 3 years now, still like them. Oof. Are you caught up with me? Does shirt still look good? Come on, let me know, be honest. I think it looks pretty awesome. I could be in the pits there working with them. I could give Aleix a little coaching, do you think? All right, let's get real for a second. So typically I wear a one-piece fitted shirt under my motorcycle jacket. I kind of like a higher collar that keeps the jacket collar itself from rubbing on my neck. So I sort of prefer a higher collar. I like them rather closely fitted. I don't like to have them too loose. And I like them so that the seams don't feel that bad against your skin after a couple of hours. This one is called the Cooler by Heat Out. Don't know that that's going to show up. Let's see. The Cooler by Heat Out. This is the Cycle Gear brand, and it's very inexpensive. I got to say, I have a short sleeve and a long sleeve version of these. It's very inexpensive, and it just does the job. And you can feel comfortable wearing that under your motorcycle jacket. So I'll give you the price on that because those happen to be a bargain. And I have a short sleeve one for summer that I wear. All right, terms of jackets. The jackets I wear most normally, I keep in the garage here. And one that I just got on sale was from Dionysi. Now this is one of the more expensive pieces of gear that I own, this Dionysi Jacket. But I kind of like Dionysi and Alpine Stars because I do like that European look of a fitted jacket. What's important about this jacket, it is mesh. It comes with a liner, and that liner for most of our cooler days will work well with that undershirt. I also have that undershirt with a little bit of layering on it so that it can keep me warmer. And that will work pretty well on most days to keep me warm enough to ride just about 365 days. And that liner will come out, and then it becomes a mesh jacket, which in summer in San Diego, and when I go out east in the desert, is also really nice to have. Now, what this jacket doesn't have, and at the price point you would think that it should, it does not have the so-called Napoleon pocket on the inside of the lapel. So if you're a person that likes to put your cell phone on the Napoleon pocket or the built inside flap pocket, this jacket does not have it. But it's lightweight. You don't feel like you're waddling under a lot of cover, and then the mesh fits well over my Dionysi vest here. I wonder if I can bring this out and show it to the world. So the vest needs a little bit of room to expand should it ever deploy, and this Dionysi jacket allows that to happen. Fits well, looks pretty good, and I happen to like the colors. There are two zip-up? Where did that come from? Two zip-up hand warmer pockets on it, so you can store some small items in there. But that's a very nice jacket. There's another mesh jacket that I use. It's by Joe Rocket. Love the name, don't you? Joe Rocket just sounds so cool. And this Joe Rocket is also mesh. It also has a liner. It's relatively inexpensive, and this one does have the Napoleon pocket, although it's located outside, but you can put some items there, and it happens to work pretty well. I sort of like the colors. I like things with a few colors on them for a couple of reasons. One, I like to be a little bit stylish. It doesn't feel bad to feel like you're cutting a style figure. And number two, I think a little more pop in the color department might help you with visibility with motorists going by. Okay, so that is, if I'm hopping on the machine and going out for a quick ride, those items are generally what I'll jump into. Want to move on to gloves, but I'm going to make that a separate little subsection to this because I don't want this to be so long that people say, oh.